This is Stash, and you're listening to the Business Bottom Line podcast, coming to you from the Jewel City of the Mountains, Greenville, Tennessee. We're in the foothills of the Smokies, talking business with people just like you, who are responsible for the bottom line, sharing business tips to inspire, inform, and improve your bottom line. So we have in the studio with us today a special guest, Miss Ashley Horvath, who is in charge of all of our personal lines clients and policies for home and auto and motorcycles and boats and RVs and I don't know how many other things she's in charge of, but she's here. So welcome, Ashley.
Hi.
I'm glad you're here.
Nice to be here.
So we'll just start off with this question. It may not be in order that you have prepared for. I warned you about that. Are you an iPhone or an Android user?
I cannot pick one. Every time I go and get a new phone, I switch. Right now I have Android. I've had it for quite a while, and my boyfriend, he doesn't want to switch back to iPhone, but I do. So
maybe you just need a new Android phone. Maybe that's what you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better version.
So most people get one and they don't ever switch, but you're one of those people that tries one
every time. I want to switch back.
Okay. I don't know what to say about that, but anyway. So introduce us to your family. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, me and Jordan, we have been together for 6 years, and we have a 3-year-old. His name is Nolan. He has the cutest hair. It is blonde, long, and curly, along with wild, just like him. And so that's it, just us three.
Every time I see Nolan, I covet his hair. You can understand why.
Yes.
You know, you can't see my hair now, but if you could, you'd understand why. I want Nolan's hair. He's got great hair. Beautiful hair. So, have you read a book lately that you really like? Are you reading something or something you've read in the past? Or are you a reader? Do you read a lot?
I used to be.
Okay.
Since college, I was in college for a long time. Then I changed my career. Then I had Nolan. So I just felt like I haven't put the effort to make time for that.
Yeah.
But I used to love it. And I always have liked books that were popular. So my last book that I remember reading was Twilight.
Okay.
So that was popular a while ago. But
Yeah.
I liked that and liked that type of series. And
So
things like that.
does that mean you like fantasy things or what?
I
know that's
like
not
everything.
necessarily fantasy, but okay. So you just like different things.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So I know with working and motherhood and all that, you don't have a lot of time. But what is your hobby? Do you have a hobby that you really like?
I don't know if I would say that I have hobbies that I've done recently. I used to love painting. Whenever I was pregnant, I was making these little welcome signs for people's doors that I really enjoyed and picking that up. But since then, I haven't had time. But that is something that I enjoy just for myself.
Now, when you say painting, do you mean painting like in pictures or painting houses or what kind of painting?
Not painting houses.
Okay.
Something relaxing.
Okay. So do you paint in like watercolors, oil, or do you do that kind of painting?
No. I do. I have done watercolors and things like that,
Okay.
but mostly it's just straight acrylic painting.
Okay, just acrylics. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's a talent I don't have. I can't even draw a square round box. Get that, but anyway. So if money was no issue, and you didn't have to come in and work with me in the office and work with insurance people, and you could just do whatever in the world you could think of, what would that be?
Vacation.
Permanent vacation. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I get that. But where would you go then?
Oh, just everywhere you could think of. I would really like to go to Italy.
Oh.
My grandma, she's Italian.
Okay.
I tried to talk her into it one time, and she turned me down, and now she wishes that she would have went with me. I would also like to go to Hungary. My grandpa's Hungarian. We have a lot of family down there. Some of them speak American, but...
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I actually lived in Italy when I was in the Air Force for almost a year and a half. Vicki and I lived there. And it is a fascinating place. At the time, we were what's called unsponsored. That means the military didn't pay for her to be there. Mm-hmm. So we just had to go out and find an apartment. And so we just lived out in town where no one spoke English and we couldn't speak Italian. So we just kind of grunted at people and, carried my little book around so I could say, how much is that? And that kind of thing. But it was fascinating. It's so old. Everything is so old. And that's the difference about Europe anyways. You go around, there's buildings that's been there 400 years. We haven't even been here 400 years as a country. So it's different, but it's fascinating to be there. I'd love to do that. There used to be a book on seeing Europe on $25 a day. That's been a while. So I don't know what it costs now, but traveling isn't cheap, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
But I love to travel too. So, and I'm kind of like you, just pretty much anywhere. Anywhere that's different, something new every day. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So let's talk about, give us a little bit of history how you got here, because you didn't just wake up one day and think, I'm going to do insurance today. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, it was really just by chance. Whenever I found you all, I was a waitress in my past life for about 10 years, and I was also doing respiratory therapy for 2, and I just was looking for something different. I was tired of being on my feet because both of those jobs require you to stand the whole time you're there. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking to my dad, and I was like, I wonder what an insurance agent does. And he just so happened to know you. And, we got that contact that way. So it worked out great.
Yeah. And that's been, 2+ years ago?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Almost 2.5 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like, you're in, you can't get out now.
No. I don't think y'all will let me.
No, we're not going to let you leave now. We just have to close up if Ashley wasn't here. So, kind of give us a picture of what's it like being Ashley. What's it like in your daily life, work life? What's that look like?
Okay, so pretty much I kind of do the same thing. Well, I don't want to say I do the same thing every day because I definitely don't do that, but I have pretty much the same routine. I like to come in and check my emails, check my tasks, and prioritize things. I like to do small tasks or servicing tasks first thing, just get them off my plate. Then I like to, then do it if I have any issues, which is very rare, but if something needs to be done, we definitely do that. And then we just manage the book of business that we have. So that includes quoting new business, looking at renewals, contacting clients that we already have just to make sure everything is going good and things like that.
Okay. So it's busy, and you come to work in the mornings and work into the afternoon. Not quite all day yet, but it's a busy day. Most days,
yes,
there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like one person that knows me says I just sit and play on the computer all day.
That might be what it looks like.
That can be what it looks like, but that's not really what it is. That's not really what it is. So, and then of course after work, you got to go home and take care of Nolan and all that entails taking care. And was he 3 now?
Yes.
Yeah, just turned 3. Okay, and a ball of energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does not like to be by himself just yet. And that includes playing, watching TV, just anything that he's doing you have to do. So
I remember that period when our son would say, watch me swing.
He just now got into that.
Did he?
Yes. Everything he does, watch me, and it's just like a little jump.
Yeah. I remember that clearly when our son was small. He couldn't do anything unless you watched him. He wanted you to watch him do everything and participate, however that looked. But yeah, that's normal. That's normal place. So tell me what is one of your biggest challenges in what you do? I know that's kind of broad, but what's a big challenge that you kind of feel like, oh, this is a real challenge for me? Is there something that stands out like that?
Well, I think within this world, and even how I used to think before, really being in business, was everything has to be instant. So the biggest challenge is that mindset for me, and thinking that all my clients feel that way. So if somebody calls, I always feel like I have to do it right then, right now. That's my biggest challenge, is just myself and worrying about that, because I don't like to prioritize anything. I don't like to put anything off and procrastinate in that way. So that's it.
Yeah, so it's hard. You're saying it's hard for you to have a to-do list and you can see the 5 things and you want to get them all done right
Yes,
now.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I said if there's small things first thing in the morning, I do that because I just want them off my list.
Okay. Yeah, that long to-do list can be kind of depressing, especially when you realize I'm not going to get all that done today.
Yes.
That can be kind of depressing. It can. But the truth is, even in our business, if you don't have kind of what we call a flow and things moving along, it's difficult to handle all the tasks you have because they all can't be done instantly.
Right.
And invariably, some are more complicated than others, right?
Right.
From I need an ID card to I need to take a car off and put a car on, or whatever, change my house because I build a new sunroom or whatever it might be.
Yeah, lots of different things.
Lots of different things. So they have to be prioritized in some way. So you do pretty much everything on the computer?
No, there's some times where I have to go out and go look at somebody's property and do measurements and take photos. I've started enjoying that, but most of the day, most of my time is on the computer.
Yeah, I want to pose this to you because we talk about this a lot inside. We talk about this is a relationship business, and we want to have a good relationship with the people that trust us with their insurance. And so talk a little bit about the different ways that you have to deal with relationship, because especially since COVID, not everybody shows up in the office. I mean, some people come in the office to do things, but more often than not, it's a phone call, an email, a text, or something other. So how do you approach a relationship when you don't really see the person?
I think for me, it's been easy. I started out during COVID, and that part has come easy to me. The only thing that sometimes is a little bit tough is email or text, because sometimes people will come off as just like brash and you just, I don't know. That's the only thing that's been difficult with email, because you can't tell their tone or how they're saying something. And
That's true. That's very true. There's no nuance or there's no expression to it, unless, of course, they put a smiley face on the end of it, and then you kind of know how they're feeling. But it's funny how you come to depend on emojis, is that the right term?
Yes.
To understand how somebody's feeling when it's in print that way. Which also, on the other side, is a cautionary thing, because if you don't choose your words well, you can communicate an ill temper or like you're bothering me or something without meaning to.
Exactly.
If you don't choose the words well. So it is a challenge to make sure that you're speaking and expressing yourself the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so you just kind of welcome that, though. I mean, it's not like a stressor for you.
No, it hasn't been.
That's good. That's really good. So what do you feel like the biggest challenge is? And then this perspective is a little different, because a lot of times we're talking to business owners, and you're not a business owner, but you're very involved in a broad part of our business and know it well now after 2.5 years. What's the biggest challenge that you kind of see from the insurance world moving forward? Is there something that you think, boy, that's big, that's coming, or that's there today, or how would you answer that?
Well, you sent me that email the other day, and I said, wow, that is crazy to think about. But it was an email about how people can get insurance and how they would choose to. And one of them was off Amazon, which I'm sure that's probably something that is coming in the future. So definitely just having, like I said, at people's fingertips to get insurance, I think that's the biggest challenge. And then, people think that they're fine until they're not. So we're still very important because they just don't know the information we have. They don't really know what they're signing up for. They don't have the same experience with the carriers or even handling claims and how those play out. But that is, I think, the biggest challenge is going in that direction, the whole self-service in insurance.
Because you don't consider yourself a salesperson, you consider yourself an advisor? Is that how you think of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So you have learned a lot in the last 2 years about how insurance works, so you can help other people understand.
And still learning, yes.
And still learning, yeah. And it's one of those businesses like other things, really, that you never learn all you need to learn. You just keep learning because things change and you have to constantly update what you know.
Yes.
Sometimes what you knew last year is not how it is today, and
yes.
you have to learn it. That's true. That's true. So how would you say what you do helps people or helps other people? How would you describe the way you help people?
I think that by having insurance and the way that I help them, it just puts their mind at ease at certain things. I feel like I help people the most whenever they're a new client to me, and I was able to look at everything that they own and what property that they have, and express what I feel like they need in their policy and go over coverages, and let them decide what they want and need. But I think that is how I help people the most, is just by being able to be there and explain to them, what is actually here, because it looks good. Every single deck page looks the same, but all policies are not.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So it's good to know stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's something that you didn't know coming into the business,
right?
Because that they're all different.
Well, there's certain forms, but then each company has a little tweak to each form too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's a process, like you say. You just keep adding to the knowledge because it takes time to absorb all those variances and different information, and of course different websites, because they all work a little different. So it's a challenge. I've often said that being an independent insurance agent, meaning we deal with a lot of different companies, is by far the most difficult way to be in the business.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because if you just had one company, you could just learn everything about them and
know everything all the time.
Yeah, you know everything all the time. But in the way we do it, and of course we do that to try to offer choices and options, so that regardless of what the need they have, we can help them with it, because we have different companies that help us with that. Okay. Or is there any particular way you see the future unfolding in insurance that it's not today, or do you think about those kinds of things? Part of that's kind of wrapped up in the challenge before us, but you obviously take the technology part, you just kind of take that in stride. You're not really intimidated by that.
With the technology that we have, but if it advances, I don't know.
Well, it never seems to stay the same. It's always...
I just don't know, what more could happen.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to imagine the future, but it's changed a lot. Even in the time you've been here, things have changed quite a bit. The things that we use are different. And of course, I'm constantly saying, Ashley, you need to learn to do this. And, and you always do. So, yeah. So if you were going to say the best tip that you could give somebody, and I know you don't work with businesses every day, you do a little bit. You talk to people and help facilitate information and things, but just thinking about our business and how we do things, what kind of a tip would you give somebody and say, this would be good if you did this, you'd be more successful?
Just stay true to yourself and just make sure that you find a place that not necessarily that you fit in, but you feel comfortable in. I think is the most important. Just to find a place that you enjoy, and you enjoy who you are when you're there. Okay.
That's good advice, because it's hard to give yourself and give your best if you don't like or enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
So that's an important piece of it. Well, thanks for taking time to talk to us today. Thanks for being part of the team here at the office, and for what you do in helping clients with those sometimes difficult decisions and sometimes information they need and they didn't even know it, but you helped them see it. So thank you for that, Ashley.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Well, that's a wrap for today's Business Bottom Line podcast. Take that tip and make your bottom line turn from red to black. And next week we'll talk to another special guest and see you right here in the Jewel City of the Mountains, Greenville, Tennessee. This is a stash saying we're here to inspire, inform, and improve your bottom line so you can grow, grow, grow.